This past Friday night on SmackDown, Triple H, along with Raw General Manager Adam Pearce and SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis, announced that this week, last Friday, tonight on Monday Night Raw, and next week on Friday, we would have ourselves 6 qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. 12 men from both Raw and SmackDown competing to enter the Elimination Chamber match in Perth, Australia, for a chance to walk out and be the one to challenge Seth frickin' Rollins for the World's Heavyweight Championship at Wrestlemania 40. This, of course, after Cody Rhodes' decision to face Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship at the same show. So with that said, on Friday, we got Randy Orton beating Sami Zayn clean in the middle of the ring. Sami Zayn is not going to be a part of the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. He's not going to be a part of the Elimination Chamber itself. We just have to wait and see what kind of story we get for Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania, because at this point in time, he's completely out of the title picture. And earlier in the show, we had Drew McIntyre, who is on the run of a lifetime, defeat the phenomenal AJ Styles with a bit of an assist from LA Knight. Yeah. So Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, they're already in. 2 of the biggest favorites to go into WrestleMania and challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now again, I've said it in the past, I'm not a big fan of running Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the 3rd time, especially at a WrestleMania. But you can't go wrong with the character he's portraying at this point in time. Now, tonight on Monday Night Raw, we get Bobby Lashley versus Bronson Reed. Big Bronson Reed. Now, logic dictates Lashley walks out, the Almighty walks out of tonight into that chamber and gets a shot at a world title. He's never faced off against Roman Reigns. He's never faced off for the World Heavyweight Championship. The Almighty should definitely be in the running, but I do not think it's his night. I think big Bronson Reed is going to be the dark horse in the chamber. The one, how can you say it? The one guy who's not supposed to be there. The one guy who was not supposed to qualify. He's going to be in there. Not just because he's a pretty good superstar, but, you know, Australia is his native land, I believe. If I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. I apologize. If I'm mistaken, please correct me in the comment section below. But I kind of feel like Bronson Reed might qualify tonight. Who knows? You know, Karrion Kross might make an appearance. I think that's the path Bobby Lashley is taking to WrestleMania. We also got LA Knight himself facing off against the fantastic singles superstar that Ivar has turned out to be. And I want to predict Ivar winning this match so bad, even though I am one of the biggest LA Knight fans out there. But at this moment in time, it seems that we might get LA Knight versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania. A lot of people are thinking, well, why not at the Elimination Chamber? I mean, it could be possible. It could happen. But much like the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself, there's not a lot of room in the Chamber pay-per-view for just random singles matches. We've already got the tag team title match and both Chamber matches, as well as Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World title. So, do they have enough time? Do they have enough space in that card for LA Knight versus AJ Styles? Enough to make it matter? And again, I would much rather prefer LA Knight go after Logan Paul for the US title at WrestleMania. I would much rather prefer that, but it does not seem like that's the way WWE is headed. So with that said, LA Knight for the win. AJ Styles might make an appearance, or we might wait until the Chamber pay-per-view itself, where AJ Styles pulled a Shawn Michaels out of his hat and cost LA Knight the Chamber match, much like in 2010. Don't believe me? Check that clip out, because it's one of the biggest surprises, non-surprises, that were surprises back then. Then on SmackDown, we got U.S. Champion Logan Paul facing off against his former friend, former ally, now rival, The Miz. And this is an easy one to predict. They're not going to have The Miz beat Logan Paul in any type of way. So Logan Paul is going to make his way into the Chamber match. He doesn't have to defend his U.S. title at the Chamber, but he will have to defend it at WrestleMania 40. let's just wait and see who they line up for him. And finally, we've got Dominic Mysterio versus Kevin Owens in a match that can honestly go either way. Kevin Owens might qualify. Dom might qualify. I have no idea which one of these two men is going to get into that chamber. But if I had to make a pick, we got to give that big Australia stadium a chance to boo the living crap out of Dominic Mysterio. Dominic pulls one thanks to some numbers game from the Judgment Day, and we get Mysterio at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Now, with that said, those are my 6-man qualifying for the Chamber match itself. McIntyre, Orton, Bronson Reed, LA Knight, Logan Paul, and Dominic Mysterio. Those are my 6-man qualifying for the Elimination Chamber match to determine the number 1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship. With that said, to all those people out there, all those wrestling fans, members of the IWC, who are trying to make the argument that we should not care about the World Heavyweight Championship because Roman Reigns called it a secondary title, because Roman Reigns called it the bracket of Roman Reigns losers. And I've said this in the past. I said this when WWE announced the World Championship last year. It's still a world title. It's still the main title on Monday Night Raw. Nobody batted an eye in 2016 when they presented the Universal Championship. Nobody batted an eye in 2002 when Eric Bischoff awarded Triple H with the big gold belt, the World Heavyweight Championship back then. And again, fans are constantly contradicting themselves. Because even though they hate Roman Reigns as a part-timer, they hate the fact that the Universal Champion is not a part of WWE on a regular basis, they still acknowledge that is the main title. Make no mistake about it, that is the main title. There's always one main title. There's no denying that. But really throwing shade and trying to devalue what Seth frickin' Rollins has done, what Drew McIntyre has done, challenging him, Nakamura in the past, AJ Styles in the past, that tournament, the entire thing WWE has been doing, trying to build that championship, devaluing it completely based off of heels' words. That's like believing a villain who's trying to be a bully on TV. That's how it portrays, at least in my mind. And again, if you fall prey to whatever those social media attacks, bullies on social media as well, personal attacks, that's on you. But personally, if I get attacked in that way, I don't believe it. I know in my mind, that world title means something. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, Nakamura, the list goes on, AJ Styles, the entire tournament involved in crowning the first world champion. Make that mean something. And if you don't believe that, if you don't want to accept that, then stop freaking watching wrestling. Stop freaking watching NFL. Just wait till the Super Bowl, much like last night. Just wait for the Game of Games, because that is, in your mind, if there's only one that matters, that is the only game that matters. Don't watch Week 1. Don't watch Week 5. Don't watch Week 7. Don't watch Monday Night Raw tonight. Don't watch the Chamber pay-per-view. Watch Wrestlemania. That's it. And then come back at next year's Wrestlemania. That's it. That's your logic. My logic, it's a world title. There's intercontinental titles, there's mid-card titles, there's tag team titles, there's women's titles, there's world titles, there's main events, there's a mid-card, there's a lower card. Everything has a purpose, everything is entertainment, and guess what? I'm a fan. Stop taking it so seriously. And Seth Rollins is a world champion, world championship caliber superstar. He's proved that for almost a year at this point as world champion. So with that said, those are just my honest thoughts going into this entire situation that they had Rollins involved in, and rightfully so. Hey, he's a part of the big story. You saw that Super Bowl ad? He's a part of the big story. He's a world champion. That's all I'm trying to say. With that said, leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions for tonight's qualifying matches on tonight's Monday Night Raw in the comment section below. My name is Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.